Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, my friends. Yes, I'm so happy to see you guys. Welcome to my channel. I am Adina. If you don't know, now you know. Um, this is going to be a reading. This is not a cold case reading, as this case is still ongoing. So this is a little bit different for me because I usually focus on cases that are unsolved and cold a little bit. However, of course, it's on my spirit to do this reading, so I have to just follow my spirit and listen to what it says. So I'm happy that you guys are here with me to watch this reading. I know that they have been very few and far between lately, but I hope you guys understand that I am not a YouTube reader. I'm not a commercial reader. I don't put out or force out a lot of content just for the sake of creating content. And I know that it seems like it's not consistency. However, what I do, it's not really for commercial use. Like I don't know how to say it other than the fact that I don't force these readings because my gift is real, and channeling spirit isn't always, you know, as easy as some of the other type of readings that you guys get on YouTube, like celebrity readings and things like that. I don't really do those, for one, because I don't see how using my gift in that way serves the greater good. And two, I'm an artist, and those people that most readers read could very, very potentially be my peers one day. And so I'm professional, and I do not do public readings on my colleagues or my potential colleagues. So with that being said, this is going to be a reading on a little girl who passed away named Jurayah Smith. Let me just go ahead and start pulling up some information so that I can give an overview of her situation. So I've actually been following her case for a couple of years now. Not that closely, however, I don't know how I came across this page on Facebook once upon a time called Justice for Jurayah. I probably was looking up information on another case, and I probably came across it that way, and then I just started following the page called Justice for Jurayah, which I believe that her mother oversees. So the story is of a young girl. She was 14 months, so it's about a year and a couple of months, when she passed away October 2017 after sustaining multiple blunt force injuries to her head. At the time of her death, she was in the care of her father and her father's wife, her stepmother. I believe the stepmother's name is Kia Beverly, and the father's name, her name is Takia Beverly, and the father's name, I'm sorry, Morris Beverly. Okay, Morris and Takia. So the father is Morris Beverly, and then the stepmother is Takia Beverly. And Jurayah was in the care of her step-parents, most specifically her stepmother, Takia. At the time of her death, it was said that the father may or may not have been at home at the time that the death was reported or that 911 was called. This case takes place in Mississippi, I think Port Gibson or something like that, Mississippi. The child's biological mother's name is, one moment. So I'm going to try to pronounce the name Dedreuna, 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 Anna or Dedreuna. I'm going to call her Dee Dee for short. um, so she was not in the care of her mother, Dee Dee. At the time, she was in the care of Morris and Takia, her father and her stepmother. And there actually was a trial that took place as the stepmother, Takia, was charged with murder and she was found guilty. However, I believe that recently she was released on a technicality and she will be retried sometime later in 2022. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to see when her retrial is. May 2nd, 2022. Okay, so May 2nd, 2022 is when Takia Beverly will go back to trial for the murder of Jurayah Smith, a 14-month-old stepdaughter of hers. She was the biological daughter of Takia's husband Morris and a woman that he, I guess, had a brief fling with, Dee Dee. And she got pregnant and Jurayah was born. Jurayah was the firstborn of Morris. Um, I'm not sure if she was Dee Dee's firstborn. However, I do believe that she was the firstborn of them both. And at the time, I believe that Morris and Takia were either engaged or have been dating for a long, long time. So this was a big deal for this woman to come up with this child, as I believe he was engaged at the time that the child was brought to public, meaning at the time that he found out that this child was his, I believe that he was already engaged to Takia. And as the story has it, I believe, sorry guys, she reached out to Dee Dee after finding out about the positive DNA results and then started trying to form some kind of relationship with Dee Dee and Jurayah. Um, and then I believe that they did work out some kind of co-parenting agreement since Jurayah was in the care of her father and her stepmother at the time of her death, resulting from multiple blunt force trauma to her head. As I said, I follow the Justice for Jurayah group on Facebook, and I don't follow it closely. However, at the time that I came across it, when I first started to follow it, it was like a whole lot of drama going on back and forth between Takia and Morris's family and the biological mother, Dee Dee's family, as they obviously are trying to get justice for her daughter. And I believe that Takia's family is trying to get justice for her. So with that being said, I'm going to do this reading. I woke up this morning and thought to do a reading, and as I prayed about if I should do a reading, as I usually say, if I should do a reading, then, um, let it be placed on my heart who or what I should do the reading for. And then I heard Jurayahsmith, and I actually thought, I don't want to do this because the whole situation is really messy. However, here I am. So I won't carry on for too much more longer. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this reading now that I gave you guys the overview. I just want to put out there before I start this reading that everything that I say is alleged, that nothing that I say I found out because I have any kind of tie to this case. I am someone on the outside looking in just like everyone else, and my intentions for doing this video is to bring some kind of resolution or justice, whether it happens in the court of law or not. In the court of natural law, I'm doing this on behalf of the only victim in this case, and that is Jurayahsmith. Consider myself a victim's advocate. So I have no dog in any fight. In any video that I do, I have no personal dog in those fights. I'm on the side of justice for those who have been done wrong and cannot speak on their own behalf. Um, and as I said, that I do these kind of readings as a way of giving back to God and giving back to the spirits. Since I have been given the ability to communicate with them and tap into them on an intuitive level, I feel like I will use my gifts. I will give back what was given to me, because I do see this ability as a gift. I use it in so many other ways. I use it when I make music as well. And I feel like I take from it in that way. So this is my way of giving back to it, because spirits help you in all kind of areas in your life. If you are a person like me who whose spirits seem to enjoy the company of, they will definitely help you in many areas of your life. And in return, I ask how I can be of help to them as well. And this is how I am of assistance to them as well. I give them a voice and I allow myself to be a vessel. So I want everyone to understand that I don't do these readings so that I can become Instagram famous. I don't do these readings so that I can be spiritually famous. I much rather prefer helping out in the background. However, every now and then I have to step out and stand for something. And how can I say I fight for justice for the victims if I only read these cases and keep the information to myself? So with that being said, I'm just going to focus a little bit. I'm going to ring-a-ling-a-ling my bell a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm running my cards through my frankincense and myrrh. The spirits love the frankincense and myrrh. I love the frankincense and myrrh. And so, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start and say that as I was thinking about this case this morning, you know what message dropped in my spirit that I wanted to share? And I'm pretty sure that this is relative to this case, because as I was thinking about this case, this thought crossed my mind. And so I want to say this. I want to say that stop going to janky ass witch doctors and spiritualists to get work done for success and to get work done to keep someone. Because, okay, I already have a bias against quote unquote love spells as it is anyways, because it's a little bit pathetic. It's a little bit pathetic when you feel like someone does not want you. So you go to manipulate their will in order to keep this person dependent on you in any way. I am not here for getting work done to bind someone to you or keep someone to you. I don't want to say that. I don't judge anyone who does. However, I personally think that there are better ways for you to get the love that you desire without forcing someone to give you what you perceive to be love. Because if you feel like that person doesn't love you without manipulating their will, then is it really love? And is it really the love that you desire? Or is it your codependency on that person? Meaning you don't care whether they love you or not. You will make them love you. And then it's not really love then. It's manipulation. That person is not in their right mind. And I know how love spells are done. And it's done to the person's mind. So you are imposing your will on that person's mind, and it's still not the outcome you want, and they always backfire. I don't care what the person performing this ritual says to you. I don't even care if you get the outcomes that you desire. It will backfire. Sorry, not sorry. It will backfire. And I kind of feel in my spirit that this is the case with Takia. I want to say that she knew what kind of man her man was, but it broke her when she found out that he had that child. And I'm going to step out even further and say, prior to her finding out about the DNA results, she already heard the rumor. She already heard it. And I believe that she went to someone prior to her finding out the results to have some work done on Morris. And most specifically, she wanted those results to come back negative. But the child was already born by then, so you can't get someone to do work on a situation that's already done. Like, you can't get someone to do work on making sure that this isn't someone's child when the child is already born and it is that person's child. I think that once she realized that he may have been involved with this girl and it was a potential that he could have fathered her child, she did go and have some work done on him. And then the results turned out that it was his child. And the work that she had done worked in the sense that they did go on to get married, and he remained with her, and to this day is with her. Despite her being charged with the murder of his biological firstborn daughter, he is still with her, with their 2 children that they went on to have after they got married. Takia, I believe that this situation that you're in is a result of the work that you went and had done. Because the thing about that is it takes a certain type of mentality to go and get binding work done on someone. It takes a desperation to do that. You have to be desperate. You have to be desperate in order to go and have someone manipulate someone into staying with you. I don't know why this page of swords just fell out, but we'll see. What's on the bottom? The world card. Sure, maybe they'll see this online. Because the page of swords fell out, and then on the bottom, the world card. To me, that could be the World Wide Web. So maybe she will see this, and if you do see this, Takia, Morris, or anybody in that circle, you have to have already been in a certain state of mind in order to want to bind someone to you. And people that are in that state of mind already, it can go left. Meaning, if you are already in a low vibratory state of mind of desperation to do a love spell on someone, whether you feel like they will love you in real life or not, you're going to force them to stay with you despite the circumstances for whatever reason you want them to be with you. You are already unwell mentally and emotionally, and unwell people mentally and emotionally should not be dabbling with the spiritual arts, whether she did it herself or whether she had some help, because the person would have had to do the work on the both of you to bind you together. And if you are not right mentally and emotionally, then that much heavy and manipulative energy will manipulate you as well. What you have done is bound you and this man in a dome of manipulation. And it doesn't just affect him, it affects you too. And so this whole situation backfired by way of your desperation. And I kind of believe that it's hereditary. I believe that your mother has gone through similar lengths. And I believe that whatever she did in the past has backfired on her, just because I believe I read an article about some of her children being killed early on as a result of her involvement with a man. And I think that that spirit of desperation and codependency in relationships repeated itself just as generational karma usually does. So I believe that your mother did the same thing, and it backfired on her because it caused her to lose some of her children, just like it caused you to lose your stepchild. And I say lose very loosely because everything here is alleged. However, I'm going to start pulling cards on behalf of Jurayah. So what I'm going to ask is, just to start this thing off, Jurayah, was your death a result of intentional malice, or was it a result of multiple accidents that you were in? Meaning, you're learning to walk, you're learning to pull up on things, and you're falling and hitting your head multiple times, and you're involved in multiple accidents that are causing you to have unintentional damage done to your head, and as a result, you passed away from it? Or were the injuries that you sustained inflicted upon you intentionally? Were the injuries that you sustained inflicted upon you intentionally, or did they happen by way of multiple accidents, out of anyone's control? Let's see. King of Swords, they were intentional. The King of Swords does everything intentionally, with a clear head and a clear mind. He knows what he's doing, and he executes things logically with a sharp mind and without any confusion. You notice that there is no water in the King of Swords. There's no emotion. He sits on a metal slab of a throne with his sword upright, meaning his thoughts are clear. His motives are clear, and they were done with no emotion whatsoever. What happened to Jurayah was done intentionally. On the bottom is the Two of Wands in reverse, meaning this is usually unexpected things happening unexpectedly. But because it's on the bottom, I believe that this is what they want people to believe. It's on the bottom, meaning it's not the real case though. It's not what's really happening. They want people to believe that this happened unintentionally. From this unfortunate event. This Three of Cups though, look on the bottom. I usually like to look on the bottom three cards. This Three of Cups, this Chariot, and then this. Three people are how do I want to say this? There are three people involved in pushing this narrative that happened unintentionally. Three people driving this narrative. The person in this Chariot is the Emperor. He is ambitious. He is also unemotional, as the Emperor card does not have any water on it, and neither. Okay, there is water on the Chariot. However, the Emperor that is driving it has the same facial expression as the King of Swords, who has the same facial expression as the Emperor card. These people are ambitious. They are almost ruthless in achieving their goals. So there are three people that are in on, look, they are in on pushing the narrative, driving this narrative of this being something that happened unintentional and accidental. Those three people, I believe, are, put those back on that, are Takia, Morris, and Takia's mother. And I say Takia's mother, this is my second time bringing her up, but I say her mother because I believe that her mother was the first person that was notified when Takia went and checked up on Jurayah in her crib and realized that she was unresponsive. I believe that it was reported that Takia called her mother first and then called the paramedics. Interesting to note, Takia is a registered nurse. She had, prior to this case, prior to her losing her license, she had been working as a nurse. So the fact that she called her mother before calling 911 is very interesting. So her mother would definitely know what really happened, and her husband would definitely know what really happened, and then she would definitely know what really happened. But they are the ones that are, I believe that they are the ones that know the truth, and they are in on whatever narrative is being pushed from their end. I'm going to clarify this King of Swords, though, because this came out when I asked if Jurayah's death was an accident or was it inflicted upon her intentionally. I got this intentional as King of Swords, so I want to see what's behind his intentions. The Three of Pentacles, I got another three together. They're working together on pushing this narrative. Death card. Wow. The Hangman in reverse. Okay, listen. The three of them got together and figured out this story about Jurayah's death so that no one would get caught. No one would find out the truth. I want to clarify this Hangman in reverse so that none of them would be hung out to dry. They're working together. It's Hangman. Ten of Cups reversed. Five of Cups reversed. Five of Swords reversed. They are hoping that this thing, they're hoping that it, hoping that the world doesn't find out the truth. I don't think that they intended for this thing to go out into the public because they didn't want to have to account for what they did. But the story got out. The story got out. They didn't want it to, though. Obviously, they didn't want the story to get out, but they had no idea that it was going to blow up like this and cause Takia to go to jail. I have another Five of Pentacles here. All these fives. Let me see what this Death card is. I'm going to see what the Death card is, and then I'm going to see what that Three of Pentacles. But Takia, did you drop that baby on purpose? You didn't want that child to be a part of your family. Ooh, the King of Swords in reverse. You were a very spiteful woman. Very spiteful, very manipulative. I say that because this Queen of Swords is here right next to this Page of Cups and this Six of Cups. You hated that baby. You pretended to be a good stepmother. You pretended that, you were very caring and all of that, but deep inside, your cup in regards to this child is in reverse. You hated her. The Queen of Swords is manipulative. She is hateful and spiteful. Bitter. That's the word, bitter. Because upright, the Queen of Swords has been through so much, and it's made her wise and knowledgeable so that she can't, she's been through things, but she came out stronger and wiser and smarter. This woman, though, in reverse, she's been through things, and it made her angry. It made her bitter and spiteful. That's you. That's you. After what Morris put you through, after your fiance went and had his firstborn child with another woman, okay, all right, okay. Takia, did you drop that baby? What just flew out of my hand here? I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to flip it and look at it with you guys. What is this? 9 of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Here we are with the Death card again. Hangman in reverse again. The Ten of Pentacles again. Takia, this is you. Okay. This is you. Very attractive. Well off. You dress nice. You make your own money. You are the catch. This is you. This is how you see yourself. You see yourself as the catch. You see yourself as the prize. You've got it all. You've got the brains. You've got the money. You've got the looks. You've got the nice clothes. But this child had to go because it wasn't your idea of your family. It's not what you thought your family would be. You thought it would be you. You thought it would be your husband Morris and your 2 kids. You, your husband Morris, and your 2 kids living this beautiful, happy life. However, this circumstance that you could not control, you couldn't control this. Your arms were tied, your hands were tied. There was nothing you can do about this aspect of what you wanted your life to look like. It had to go. I'm going to clarify the Hangman in reverse. Look, family. Your happy household. You couldn't control the fact that this baby ruined your perfect ideal family. going to clarify the death card. I'm only going to pull one card. I'm going to clarify the death card. I'm clarifying the death card. And then I've got someone on the Eight of Pentacles making something happen. So if the baby Jurayah had multiple blunt force trauma to her head that I believe some of the injuries could have been sustained over time, Takia, this is you working towards your end goal over a period of time. One strike, one blow at a time until eventually you got your outcome, your desired outcome. This is you putting in the work over time. It takes time to build something so perfect. It takes time to build yourself up to this. But you got it. This is you over time inflicting trauma onto this child. I want to clarify this too, because I just want to know for sure that what I'm seeing is correct. Queen of Wands, you did it with confidence. Confidence and assertiveness. And you had some work done. You had some candle work done. You had some spell work done. But that spell work, coupled with, I got determined and ambitious. See, you're successful. You were successful. You became a successful nurse. And you got the family that you wanted because you're ambitious. You don't mind putting in the work to get what you want, even if it's this. And the Queen of Wands is going to do whatever it takes to get what she wants. She's going to put in the work, as the wands are cards of action, fiery passion, manifestation. But I keep getting the feeling or the thought that this work that you had done worked against you because it fueled you. It fueled you, and it fueled your desperation. It wasn't just enough to have Morris bound to you. And Morris, you don't even know why you can't leave your wife, because you've thought about it so many times in the course of this trial, but you can't, and you don't even know why. You don't even know why. You don't even know why you can't leave her. You don't even know why, because you don't really want to be with her anymore, because you know what she's capable of. But you can't leave her. You are stuck. It worked. For and against you. That Queen of Wands, did she have some work done? Did she have any spell work done to assist her in any of these matters? Did Takia have any spell work done? Dios míos. Page of Swords in reverse. The World in reverse. Star, the Strength in reverse. Takia. My eyes are drawn towards, for some reason. I know you can't see them very well, but if you ever look up the Rider-Waite, okay, now you can see them. You see these black birds? These black birds. If you pull a sword card and it's in reverse, it represents lack of clarity, negative thinking, not thinking clearly, low vibrational thoughts, self-sabotaging thoughts. And then these blackbirds, I don't know why I feel so drawn to them. Blackbirds, black cat, blackbirds, black cat, blackbirds, black cat. This Page of Swords. I keep hearing bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. The Fool in reverse. Bad idea. Eight of Cups in reverse. You should have just left. Knight of Swords in reverse. I'm going to speed this up a little bit in just a second, but I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand something. Yep. You should have just left. You should have just left. You should have just left when you found out that you were done wrong. You should have just moved on, gave up the relationship when you found out that he cheated on you. And had this baby behind your back. Sun in reverse. Okay, there it is. The Magician in reverse. The Two of Wands. And this baby in reverse. You had work done when you found out about this baby that he had behind your back. You went and had some work done. You went and had some work done. I knew it. You went and had some work done on him when you found out about that baby. And it was a bad idea because you two were not supposed to be together. You two were not supposed to be happily ever after. But when you have a goal in mind, when you set your mind to something, you do whatever it takes in order to get the outcome you want. And that is both a good and a bad thing if you had used it in a more productive way. But you were desperate to keep this man and to keep this image of a happy family. Okay, so Jurayah. What happened with Jurayah? I just want to start getting towards Jurayah. What happened with her? I don't want to spend too much time on Takia and her relationship with Morris, but I just wanted to set the tone of why she was inflicting trauma on this child. It's because this baby ruined everything. This baby ruined everything for her. Jurayah, show me what happened to you if you can, or if there is anyone that is with Jurayah in spirit that's a little bit older than her that can communicate on her behalf. Show me what happened to Jurayah. Did Takia murder Jurayah that night that she was found dead? Did she inflict any kind of blow on Jurayah that night? Did she harm Jurayah the night that Jurayah passed away, which was like the straw that broke the camel's back on Jurayah's brain injury? Is there anything that happened to Jurayah, specifically the night that she died, that overwhelmed her little body? The Tower in reverse. Something happened to her that night so her death was inevitable. The Tower in reverse is something that it's either happened already that was traumatic, or it was going to happen regardless, but it was just being delayed, but it was inevitable. Ten of Cups in reverse on the bottom. Why do I keep feeling like you dropped her? Like you picked her up because she was crying or something, and then you dropped her, like on purpose. You dropped her. I feel like you've done it before. I feel like you've picked her up and dropped her before. Because dropping her is different from hitting her over the head, because I feel like you know with your medical training that could be seen or picked up more easily than just dropping her and letting the injury happen as it may. If you drop her, it's going to look like an accident because a child is falling. And then you can easily say she fell all the time, which caused these injuries because you're dropping her. I believe hitting her, though, would leave specific patterns that could be traced to a child being intentionally hit, whereas dropping her could come across as accidents, falling and things like that. Look, you dropped her. The crown, the head. This is the crown, the head of the body. Look. This is a body, and the crown falling off the top of the building is reminiscent or symbolic of the head, because the crown chakra is here. The crown chakra is here. And the tower speaks about something traumatic happening that affects your mind, happens suddenly, and it changes everything, changes your perspective and your outlook. It deals with the crown, the head. This is, you see that bolt of lightning striking the top of this tower and making the crown fall off? This was trauma done to this child's head due to her being dropped, falling. Now, I could say that this is just accidental falling, because babies have accidents and they fall all the time. However, on the bottom of the deck is the Justice in reverse. So this wasn't an accident. This was an injustice. Look. The Devil in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles upright, and then the Injustice. Okay, so we're going to take a minute to look at these cards a little bit. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is a mother figure. She's nurturing. Look at her. She's holding that pentacle. She's nurturing that pentacle. And around her is fertility because she's nurturing. She's a mother. She takes care of things. She takes care of people. This is a card of detaching, letting go of negative attachments. An affair, releasing negative attachments. So see it this way. This baby was dropped on her head because it's in reverse. It's being dropped. It's not coming down. It's not coming down on its own. It's being dropped. It's being